Welcome to the West Virginia Media Lab podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is pretty essential when you're trying to connect with your audience and see your business thrive.
Yeah,
It's what we call magnetic content.
magnetic content.
You've probably come across this idea before in, different forms.
Right.
And here at the West Virginia Media Lab, we've been taking a close look at what makes it work and specifically how it can work for you.
That's right. We're really going to break down what makes that simple piece of content into a magnet.
Hmm.
Something that not only stops someone from scrolling, on social media,
Right.
but also actively brings those potential customers closer.
Yeah. And it's about providing that real value right up front,
Yes.
to foster that connection.
Absolutely.
And, we found here at the lab that a lot of folks really struggle with something that feels pretty basic, growing that email list.
Yeah.
And this is where the idea of magnetic content becomes so powerful because it's about making something so appealing and so genuinely helpful
Mm-hmm.
that people are actually excited to give you their information.
That's true.
So let's really dig into this. What exactly is magnetic content?
Yes.
And why should you as a listener care?
So let's get back to the basics here. At the West Virginia Media Lab, we define magnetic content as valuable resources. Think of things like helpful guides or those handy checklists or even customizable templates, things that you can offer to your audience, and in return, they give you their email address.
Okay, so kind of like a trade.
Exactly. It's like the digital equivalent of giving someone a free sample.
I like that, yeah.
You want to attract those individuals who are likely to be interested in your services or your products later on,
Right?
and keep them engaged with what you're doing.
Okay, so why not just directly ask people to subscribe?
Right.
That's something we get asked a lot here at the lab.
It is.
And I think the answer is pretty clear. Just putting it out there like, hey, sign up for my emails. It's just not that compelling, is it?
It's not very exciting.
No, it's not. Magnetic content gives people a reason to opt in,
Yes.
a real benefit.
Yeah.
It helps you build that audience of people who are actually interested and receptive.
Exactly. It's not just about getting that email address.
Right.
Here at the West Virginia Media Lab, we've actually pinpointed several key benefits that this valuable exchange can bring you. So first off, it really allows you to effortlessly capture those leads because you're offering something that they perceive as valuable.
Okay, so there's incentive on both sides.
Exactly.
Ah.
And then secondly, a well-crafted piece of magnetic content can really help build trust and establish you as an authority.
Right, like you're talking about.
Exactly. You're the expert.
Yeah.
And third, it can boost conversions by really guiding those potential customers further into your sales process.
Okay.
And finally, it helps you grow an engaged audience. You're
Cool.
attracting people who want to be there.
And that's ultimately what we all want. So these all sound like fantastic benefits.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk about this magnetic content, what forms does it actually take?
That's a great question.
I mean, here at the lab, we create a variety of custom resources,
We do.
each one tailored to meet the specific needs of a particular audience.
Absolutely. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
So for instance, if you want to dive deep into a topic, ebooks and comprehensive guides are perfect for that.
Makes sense.
But if you're dealing with an audience that needs quick, actionable information, checklists and cheat sheets provide that immediate value.
Right.
And then we have things like templates and swipe files,
Yeah.
which offer ready-made solutions.
That save people time and effort.
Absolutely. And then we have quizzes and assessments.
Oh, I love those.
They're so engaging.
They're fun.
And they provide those personalized insights,
Yeah.
which everyone loves.
Total.
And then for B2B audiences who really value data and research,
Yeah.
white papers and in-depth reports are incredibly effective.
Good.
So the key is to choose the format that best resonates with your ideal customer and how they prefer to consume information.
Now, what if someone's listening and thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but I have no idea what kind of magnetic content would work best for me and my business?
We get that a lot.
We do.
And that's something we help our clients with all the time at the lab.
Right, so we help you figure that out.
Exactly.
We work with you to figure out the best format based on your niche and your goals,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're starting from scratch.
Exactly.
And if you already have a good sense of what your audience responds to, we can bring that vision to life.
Absolutely.
It's a collaborative process.
It really is. And that initial discussion about your goals and your audience's needs, that's critical.
Oh, absolutely.
It really informs the entire process of creating that magnetic content. And it brings up another thing that's really important that we focus on at the West Virginia Media Lab.
What's that?
It's the strategy behind it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about creating something. It's about creating the right thing
And it could be targeted.
for the right people at the right time.
Yes.
That strategic thinking is what makes magnetic content truly effective.
Yeah. And it's more than just the format of the content, right?
Right.
Here at the West Virginia Media Lab, we also put a huge emphasis on the writing
Yeah,
and that overall content strategy.
absolutely.
Because you can have the most valuable information in the world.
You can.
But if it's not presented in a compelling way, it's just not going to do the job.
It's true.
So this includes crafting those attention-grabbing headlines,
Yeah.
writing really persuasive copy that clearly communicates the value, and you got to have strong calls to action.
Yes.
Because a generic download now button on a bland, boring PDF
Right.
is just not going to cut it.
No. It all comes down to recognizing that even the language you use needs to be magnetic.
Yeah.
It needs to pull the reader in, clearly articulate what they're going to get out of it, and inspire them to take that next step.
And here at the West Virginia Media Lab, we also handle all those little details to make the entire process as smooth as possible for you.
We do.
This includes optimizing the PDF or the digital format,
Yes.
making sure it integrates seamlessly with your current email marketing system.
So important.
So you don't have to
See what-
manually add all this new content.
Exactly. Streamlining that process is crucial,
And we can even design a dedicated landing page if you don't already have one.
which we highly recommend.
It's all about removing those roadblocks.
Right. It is. And, speaking of that integration with your email platform, that is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
If the process of getting that valuable content to your new subscribers isn't seamless and automatic, well, you risk losing potential engagement and creating extra work for yourself.
Absolutely. And then the landing page, it acts like a virtual storefront
Yes.
for your magnetic content. It's often the first interaction someone has with your offer.
It's right.
So it has to be clear, concise, and compelling. And we can't forget the importance of visuals. We believe that magnetic content needs to not only provide value, but also look polished and professional.
Absolutely.
It should be consistent with your overall branding.
It should.
Here at the lab, we offer custom design services,
I do.
and we have branded templates
Yes.
to make sure everything is visually aligned.
It reinforces brand recognition.
Yeah, and we have a saying around here, ugly PDFs don't convert.
They don't.
So true.
It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's important.
It is.
Because visual appeal really does influence how people perceive the quality of your offer.
Exactly.
So when you take the time to create something well-designed, it communicates professionalism and it encourages your audience to actually read the information.
It shows you care.
Absolutely.
So let's say you decide to work with the West Virginia Media Lab to create some of this magnetic content.
Okay.
What would that process look like?
Great question.
Well, we've broken it down into 4 key steps. First, we start with a consultation to understand your specific needs and goals for this content.
Mm-hmm.
Second, our team takes over and handles all of the creation.
Research, writing, design.
The whole 9 yards.
Yep.
Third, you get to review a draft and give us feedback.
Absolutely.
Request any revisions. And finally, we deliver the final polished product ready for you to use.
Nice and easy.
It's designed to be a simple and collaborative experience.
It is. And that review and revision stage is so important
It is.
because it ensures that you as the client have full input
Yes.
and that the final product truly reflects what you had in mind.
It's your vision.
Exactly. And it's that collaborative approach that allows us to really tailor that magnetic content to your needs.
And we also like to anticipate questions you might have.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have a detailed FAQ section on our website.
We do.
For example, we explain that creating magnetic content typically takes 7 to 14 days.
Depending on the complexity.
Exactly. We also assure you that revisions are included to guarantee you're completely happy with the final product.
We want you to be thrilled with it.
And we provide guidance on integrating it with your email marketing and setting up that landing page.
It's all there. What I think is really helpful about our FAQ is that we go beyond just listing what we do.
Yeah.
We explain the why behind it all.
Yeah.
So, for example, we don't just say we create checklists.
Yeah.
We explain why checklists are so effective at delivering that immediate value.
And why they're so popular.
Exactly. We want you to understand the strategy behind every element.
And ultimately, our goal is to make it as easy as possible for you to use these tools.
Absolutely.
To grow your audience. And we've identified the kinds of businesses that typically benefit the most from this approach. Coaches and consultants, e-commerce brands, service providers, course creators, educators, B2B and SaaS companies.
Really, anyone who wants to build a targeted audience and generate leads.
Exactly. It's a pretty universal need in the online business world.
It is. And when you think about it, developing valuable content that attracts and nurtures potential customers is really a fundamental element of sustainable growth, no matter what industry or business model you're in.
So to sum it all up, well-crafted magnetic content is a powerful tool for building your audience, establishing yourself as an expert, and ultimately growing your business.
It is.
And it all comes down to offering real value up front
Yes.
to forge a lasting connection.
Absolutely.
And as we like to say here at the West Virginia Media Lab, it's about attracting loyal customers without any gimmicks or tricks.
Just genuine, valuable content.
Exactly. We hope this exploration has given you a clearer understanding of what magnetic content is and how it can benefit you.
We do.
And this brings us to a crucial question for you. What valuable piece of information or resource could you create that would really resonate with your target audience? What would make them excited to connect with you?
That's a great question to ponder.
It is.
When you really think about that core piece of value that you can offer, it can be a game changer in terms of attracting and keeping an engaged audience.
Thanks for joining us on the West Virginia Media Lab podcast.
We'll see you next time.
We look forward to our next exploration together.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. The West Virginia Media Lab is all about celebrating our state and its people, businesses, stories, news, and folklore. If you love West Virginia like we do, be sure to comment below, then subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to stay connected. Until next time, stay wild, wonderful, West Virginia.